5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother... What we do here is go back.
I guess I should unmute my mic if I'm going to be talking. I was just...
I can hear you, but...
Yeah, you can hear me. They couldn't for a second. I was like, yeah, let's just jam out to this music for a second, but y'all couldn't hear me say that. But either way, this is Jensen with Jessi Davin. I didn't even realize I was wearing sunglasses. I don't even remember putting these on a second ago. But I guess
Oh no.
Yeah, this is going to be a good podcast.
Good. This is doing great.
So, thanks for joining us, y'all. We have some fun stuff to talk about, including NXT Takeover 31, which I thought was a great show, and we also had Raw last night, which I didn't watch all of, but I did watch the key moments that we're going to definitely touch on. The big moment being, of course, Ollie being a part of Retribution and possibly being the leader on top of that. So, shout out to Jessi for today's thumbnail, which was very, very, very good, and I know that it must have taken you a long time, like the other one, because I can see all the detail. A long time.
Pen tool.
But it's a pen tool. Somebody uses Photoshop as often as I do. The pen tool, like, you can get faster with it, but it never, like, either way, like, you're in for, like, it's gonna take some time because you literally have to trace and cut around stuff and mask things.
The hair. And all these people have long hair.
Yes. Yeah, the hair isn't easy, and And there's also like something to being kind of precise with it, so you don't see like anything, any like the white or anything around it. And so I totally get it. And when I see all the work you put into the thumbnails, I know it's got to be taking you some time. So I appreciate that. I think the thumbnails have always been great, but lately, like, I mean, I can see the amount of work you're putting into it. So I very much appreciate it. And
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Try to make them look nice.
They look very good. And yeah, I mean, I guess before we get started, what we'll probably do today, y'all, is we'll probably go through NXT and then we'll talk a little bit of Raw. And as always, if you want your voice heard, if you want your questions answered, anything at all that you want us to talk about on air, make sure to send a super chat. You can do that right here through YouTube, or there is a donation link in the description as well. So, and I made sure to make sure our alerts are on this episode. I noticed afterwards last episode that the alerts weren't on. We were still getting them and we were still addressing them, but I had accidentally turned it off to where y'all couldn't see it on the screen like normal. So I have fixed that for y'all. And I apologize to anybody who super chatted last week and didn't see their questions on the screen. But yeah, as always, we'll do that. We'll run through the matches. This will probably be another like hour and a half type podcast. So make sure, you know, if you want your voice heard, by no means you have to send a super chat. Like, you can just chat in the regular chat. But if you want to make sure we for sure see it and for sure address it, then the super chats and donations, that's the best way to do that. Before we get into all this, I know off air there's been some stuff going on, but outside of that stuff, how's stuff going for you today?
Good. This baby is kicking me like crazy all the time. Like, all the time I'm being kicked, and it's so awesome, but it's so weird. It's like, it's great though. It's very reassuring, you know, just, it's comforting to know, but I just know that the further along I get, the more uncomfortable it's gonna be. Like, I'm already getting like short of breath. And like, oh my God, I chugged a big thing of like this morning.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, when you're pregnant, like, so right now, my baby womb is up above my belly button. So like all my intestines and like my stomach, it's all crammed in there. So I drink a whole one of these because I was like super thirsty. I was so uncomfortable this morning.
Oh yeah.
I was like a balloon. I had to lay down because the gravity was too much. So it was hilarious. I did have to take my daughter to school first, which was a very uncomfortable car ride. But it's just going to get better from here. I can't wait till this child starts to get up into my lungs and makes it hard to breathe, because they'll be like, it's like, did you just run up a flight of stairs? No, there's a baby on my lung. But
that's wild.
Baby, like, jump on your arm.
Yeah, because she's growing and she's like, hey. Anyways, how are you?
I'm good. I was telling Jessi beforehand, I'm the commissioner for my fantasy football league and have been for like, it's been over a decade now. And today I'm going through some fantasy football drama because we're trying to figure things out, because there's money involved and we have to figure out how that's all going to work out if the season doesn't finish because of, like, you know, the circumstances with the pandemic and all that. I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to get a full season either way, and we're already 4 weeks in. And I came up with a solution that I think is fair. But of course, you know, a few people aren't going to agree, and I've just been dealing with that. But once again, these are very, very minimal issues. These are very chill at the end of the day. And then also, I recorded a podcast for the Sobers Network talking about UFC earlier today. So that's what I've been doing. So it's been a good day.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I know you're trying. While we got Charlotte.
You're not in anymore.
While we got Scarlett there.
In
What's on her? What's she eating?
Okay.
Doritos.
Richard Thomas says, I miss Raw Underground. Yeah, man, I don't know what the hell happened to it.
I'm so sad that Raw Underground is gone.
Yeah, so what happened? Because, like, I tweeted about that last night, and you did Braun actually address why there was no... Oh, he actually did. Oh, okay.
He, like, came out and he was like, well, we already know there's going to be no Raw Underground. And I was like, what? And I was like, I didn't know that. And then we got a super chat. Can you say thank you?
Thank you, Mom. I want to eat you.
Cool.
Cool. Dylan's wrestling stuff. Appreciate him. Appreciate it as always, man. you consistently support the show, and I actually jumped on your. I didn't jump in the chat because I was multitasking at the time, but I saw you playing GTA on Twitch yesterday for a little bit. So keep doing your thing, man. Dylan says, "Hey guys, I had all of my predictions right for Takeover. All the champions retained. Kushida beat Dream. Yeah, good deal. I think I.
Yeah.
You've never seen with showing. I want to show some sword and my move. Can I show you it?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I was. Let's see. I got them all. Oh no, sorry, because I picked Kyle, and then I also picked Swerve. So yeah, I missed a couple myself, but Dylan with the clean sweep. And thanks again for the super chat, man. We're gonna talk about the whole show here today, so feel free to keep letting us know.
Yes, thank you so much, Dylan. We super duper appreciate it, and good job with your predictions because I got a lot of them wrong.
It was a damn good show. Well, I'll go ahead and pull the matches up actually right now.
She said thank you, Dylan. Oh.
Aw.
Yeah.
And then that.
I thought it was a booty.
Well, there you go.
She farted on. Yes. I know, she's showing me her butt.
Yeah, make sure that does not get on the screen.
No, she's just, it's not actually her butt. She's just.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to pull it.
No, you're not. No, do not.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, I mean, we can jump into the show since, I got it pulled up here.
Sure, let's do it.
I did not see any of the dark matches, and I don't know if anyone did. Maybe they were taped for for NXT this week or something. Well, no, they do that show live now. Because this wasn't on the WWE Network. Because I was watching the WWE Network before the show, so don't know when these happened. Or if they even did. I mean, there's no results. So I don't know what's up with these matches here. So I'm just not going to speak on it, I guess. The actual opener, though, Damien Priest versus Johnny Gargano. Singles match for the North American Championship. Damien Priest retains the title in 18 minutes and 39 seconds. Jesse, what did you think about this match and Priest retaining?
I thought it was obviously it was a fantastic match. I mean, Johnny Gargano, while his character is flat, still delivers in the ring. Excuse me. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a great opener, especially, like, in this mini Thunderdome dystopian future utopia, a zombie apocalypse kind of set they had going on. It was like, at first I was like, ooh, this is weird, but then I kind of liked it. It was very industrial, very like I said, dystopian future, very Mad Max, Ready Player One kind of crazy fun Fight Club thing, like industrial Fight Club. I loved it. It was a great opening match. Unfortunately, though, with Johnny Gargano losing, it was kind of like, oh, well, now we know Candice is not going to win. Like, because the whole thing was, oh, they're going to be this big power couple. And, I mean, obviously, we can talk about what happened later, but it was kind of like, oh, well, like, I'm not mad with the outcome at all. But it was just like, it was a fantastic match, but it's just like, okay, where's Johnny Gargano go from here? I was expecting to see him on Raw, kind of, sort of, but maybe that'll happen with the draft. I'm not sure. But the match itself was great. I thought it was fun. So it was good opener, like really good opener.
Yeah, I thought the match was really good too, and I didn't mention it, but I'm glad you did about the setup at the, what was the name of that venue? That small. Oh wait, this happened in the Performance
Capital
Center?
Wrestling.
Capital Wrestling, yeah.
That's what they're calling it.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. I was a little confused about that, but the way that it looked, I thought was amazing. I thought they killed it with the way the screen went up high like that. Instead of going like backwards high, it went up high, which I thought was smart because it always looked like it was just full of people.
It was perfect.
Yeah, I loved the multiple screens that they had set up in there. Like Damien Priest at one point after his match, like did his like arrow thing, and it was on like the far screen, not the screen for the entrance ramp, and stuff like that. So I mean, I was thinking this the whole show too. I was like, I wish the UFC would do something like this, like put all these people on these screens around them just like that, and have, because it was cool because they also had the cage with actual people in the, like, behind the fence
banging on the cage.
Yeah, but it was a great, like,
awesome.
And imagine that for real fights for the UFC. I think that would be awesome if they did that.
That would be brutal and awesome.
Yeah, and like UFC doesn't use like the elaborate, like they don't use like the entrance ramps and the pyro and that kind of stuff. But I mean, just like the visual of having all those faces, like I think the Thunderdome they do it really, really well also. But I liked the setup for NXT a little bit better because it felt a little smaller, and I liked the layers of the fans behind the fence and then the tall screens instead of the screens that went back. So
I know, I like that better.
Yeah, really, really
more
cool.
Ominous.
Yeah, it was.
It's like less pageantry, more ominous.
And where does Gargano go from here? Yeah, you mentioned like Raw or SmackDown or something. I think he's screwed on both. I think he's gonna wind up in 205 Live. I don't know. I don't know what he does. And once again, I said it last week. I'll say it again. Like it's his in-ring talent is always there. I mean, his matches are always good. But I just do not see Vince McMahon doing anything with him. And I mean, he's too big for 205 Live because of like what he's done in NXT, but he also doesn't like. I also don't see where he fits in on like Raw or SmackDown, being the size that he is with like no. I mean, his heel character I think is way better than his face character, but I mean maybe there's more they can do with him and Candice together on the. Maybe that makes more sense.
Like some kind of team together.
That I could see. I could see them maybe doing something with that like a heel couple.
Put him with a big guy or something.
Do whatever.
Manager.
Yeah, do like whatever. Not the same gimmick, but do whatever like the initial plans for like Maria Kanellis and Mike Bennett were or something. Like if y'all like actual plans that you just never went through with, like use them for it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not the Cuck angle, by the way. I'm talking about like when they debuted, and it was like, they debuted right on the main roster, and like for Bennett, we had known Maria, but like, but Bennett, debuts on the main roster, no NXT, and like then they just did nothing with it. They kind of do a similar type thing as heels on NXT, though. To be fair, kind of like the Power of Love. It's like kind of the same type of thing, kind of.
Kind of a weird goth vibe to it.
Yeah, like it's a lot darker.
Yeah.
But regardless, I think this was a really good match. Like, I think the Damien Priest winning made a lot of sense. I like the finish where he hit his crossroads looking thing, but it was like with Gargano hanging off the ropes, which
that was epic.
Yeah, and it all made sense. It wasn't like the Del Rio spot that Sean Ross Sapp always bitches about, which I bitch about as well, where someone's just hanging on the ropes and waiting for somebody for no reason. Like this actually made sense how they got there and how it all worked out. So,
perfect.
Yeah, good stuff.
I was satisfied.
Yes, and Damien Priest, didn't mean to click that. Damien Priest is like he is somebody unlike Johnny Gargano. Like if and when he winds up on Raw or SmackDown, he's going to be a massive star probably for them. The only thing he has going against him is he's a little older. Like what people realize, he's 38.
Oh wow!
Which good
for him. He looks great.
Oh no, I mean hell yeah. Like good, absolutely good for him. Still. But WWE like they're wary to even sign people past like 30. You know what I mean? Like this is. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And I think Damien Priest has a ton of talent. He's got a great look. He's really good in the ring. He can do high flying. He can do power stuff. He's got one of the best choke slams in the business, but he could also dive over the top rope. I mean, really good stuff here. So although I've been a little negative on Johnny Gargano, like I have to always say the matches are always solid. I always look forward to his takeover performances. I think I'll talk a little bit more about him during the Candice LeRae match, but as far as in-ring wrestling is concerned, Johnny Gargano always brings it. So, I mean, this was good stuff.
Yeah, he's like a guarantee. You're guaranteed to get a good match with Johnny Gargano.
Yep, absolutely. This I thought was really good, too. I'll read this out before I get to that.
Thank you, Throwback.
Yes, thank you, Throwback, for joining us. What's good, guys? Hope you guys have a good day. Or a good show. Thank you, Throwback. Hope you do, too.
Thank you. Hope you're safe and well, and I hope that you have a good day as well.
Yes. And thank you for supporting my Twitch streams as well, Throwback. He's been jumping in there a little bit too, so watching me play Fall Guys. Up next we had Kushida defeating Velveteen Dream by submission. I thought this match was really good. I think the finish was really, really, really good. The way that Kushida basically did a Spanish fly while he had Dream in his, I think he calls it the hoverboard lock, the Kimura that he does, the double wrist lock. He he basically did a Spanish fly off the ropes while having the Kimura in, and then Velveteen didn't tap, but like it looked like he wanted to. Velveteen gets to the ropes, Kushida rolls through it, I think is what happened. It was something where he held on to it and they did something else, and he locked it on even harder, and right when that happened, Velveteen tapped out. And I thought it was genius. I think it got Kushida over more. It did everything we were hoping it was going to do. And then he beat the hell out of him after the match also, which just, I think that a lot of the time when you see something like that in wrestling, you see it as like a heel tactic where you're like, oh, they're trying to like kind of make this guy more aggressive, kind of turn him heel. Like, I don't know if I agree with that. I think all of that was a nod to all the fans that like do not want to see Velveteen Dream on screen right now for outside of the ring things. And I think that was a big nod to all of those fans to say, like, all right, look, this is Velveteen Dream getting his ass kicked on screen. We are putting Kushida clearly over him in the ring and as a character, and we're giving Kushida a push here by expense of Velveteen Dream, which I think this is all things we called on our predictions, and they went through basically to a T with what I was looking for. So I was all about this.
Yes. I was too. I didn't really. The cosplay was a little weird to me. Like they were both in like coordinating cosplay, which was kind of.
Well, Kushida always wears that, but that's what
does he?
that's what it
So
was.
It was Velveteen Dream doing like antics by trying to be like, oh well, you dress like what's his face, Michael J. Fox, so I'm gonna dress like Doc.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Okay, because it was just weird. I was just like.
Well, I think he was mocking him. I think that was the idea. Was like
that's what it's like psychological.
Yeah.
Please stop. But we did get a super chat really quick from Dylan again. Thank you so much, Dylan. It says, "How to get Kushida over? Show more aggressive side." Thank you, Dylan. Show more aggressive side, defeated Dream at Takeover, and continue to destroy Dream after the bell. That is what I loved. At first, I was like getting a little bit worried. I was like, I honestly, I didn't even, which is not fair to Kushida, I didn't even pay attention to the match because I was like, this match is going on too long. There's too many near falls. Like, what is happening? It's like, it was starting to worry me because I was like, there's no way Dream can win. They just can't. Just in so many aspects, he can't win. If I try to like go back and remember it and think of the match like not worrying, it was very, very good. It was what you want a match to be, which is you don't know what the finish is going to be and you are invested, and I was invested for Kushida, and it was the beatdown afterwards was absolutely like the best thing, and I guess that's supposed to turn him heel, but to me it turned him face. Like, yeah,
I don't think that was meant to turn. Like I said, I think that was meant to, like, that was a nod to people that really hate Velveteen Dream. Yeah. That was like, and let's not forget, Dream's a heel. Like, and Kushida gave him what was coming to him. Like that's how I see it.
Yeah. And again, thank you so much, Dylan. But okay, so Dream was doing some kind of weird thing at the beginning. I know it's very Velveteen to be like boisterous and flamboyant, but like at the very beginning of the match, when he was on the outside, when he went to go get a chair. It was like he was fighting somebody invisible. He was like just going like this for like no reason, and I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you?
That was weird.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing, dog? Like for real? Like this, it was just very weird, and it creeped me out and gave weird vibes to an already weird match. And I'm very satisfied with who won, and I was even more satisfied with the aftermath. So.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. I think it accomplished everything it needed to. Let's see here. Santos Escobar over Isaiah Swerve Scott in the next match. This one went 15 minutes and 14 seconds. Santos Escobar retains the NXT Cruiserweight Championship in, I mean, another really good match. What did you think about Escobar retaining? And what do you think, kind of, where does Scott go from here?
I actually thought this was the best match of the night.
He got the hat.
Yes. I thought this match was fantastic. I loved everything about this match. I guess I'm okay with Escobar retaining. I really wanted Isaiah to win because I think we had discussed that before. But this whole match was so good. This match had literally everything you want out of a match, let alone a cruiserweight match, and more. They both came out of this looking fantastic. I loved it. It almost like gave me Fight Forever vibes because I loved it so much. But and it honestly it got me invested into like maybe I should check out 205 Live. Like what am I missing? You know what I mean? And I think that's probably what the purpose of the match was, I guess. But I would like to see more of this on NXT on Wednesdays as well. So I really, really, really liked it. There's nothing I didn't like about it. So
Yeah, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I remember hearing the commentary mention that this was the first time the Cruiserweight Championship was defended on an actual takeover show. Which let me know in the chat if that's true or not. But if it is, that's pretty big.
that is pretty big. Maybe it's been defended on a pre-show before or something. So, but that's actually huge, and it's deserving of being the first one on an NXT Takeover if it is. So, the Grace Davin.
Oh yeah, there you go. With the rest of this match, yeah, I mean, the only thing I didn't like about this, I think this was the match where towards the end, like the bottom turnbuckle was exposed and Scott got like hit into it, but like he totally missed it. Like the camera was right on the spot, and I'm pretty sure it just didn't look good. But the idea was that he was gonna like he hit the turnbuckle, the exposed turnbuckle, and then when Santos Escobar hit him with his finisher, he was completely out cold. So that adds another layer to it. But the thing is, like Swerve's gotten a lot of opportunities at this point, so it's like I don't see them. It's like this was set up in a way that you would have a rematch again because Scott, like, you know, like that happened to him. But at the same time, Escobar is a heel and he used heel tactics and he's beaten Swerve on multiple occasions now. So I feel like they'll probably move on from there and maybe we see Swerve on Raw or SmackDown sometime soon. Maybe I'm not really sure. We've seen him on Raw Underground in the crowd, but that's it. So, oh geez.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
It's okay. Hey, let's hit the reset button here, right here. Hit it. You can do it. Hit the reset. Hit the reset. Please.
What's the reset button?
Well, I do it like a reset. We reset our attitude.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, that's true. I guess, you know, he's had his chances, but then again, so is Randy Orton, and he's getting like 5,000 chances. So I mean, heck, who knows? But I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Because I mean, there's a lot they could be doing with Swerve, like, but they haven't really pushed him like super heavily. So it's like he's in a weird spot. Like he might just wind up on 205 Live for a while, and I really don't know. But Escobar's a great champion, and it's really like this whole Legado del Fantasma stable is very interesting for a show like 205 Live. So
Yeah, it is. It is.
Moving on, we have Io Shirai. She retained her NXT Women's Championship over Candice LeRae, 16 minutes and 45 seconds. Is this on me or you to go first on this one? I already forgot.
Can you just give me a minute?
Yeah, go for it. I got it. So I thought this match was good. I think Io Shirai should be the champion, and I think she should be the champion for a while. On any brand she's on, I think she's really, really good. I like her entrance a lot. I like her presentation a lot. I like her in-ring work. She's got a great moonsault, great arsenal of moves. I'm really all about Io Shirai. And Candice LeRae is very, very good as well. Like, in her as a heel, we talked about her and Johnny Gargano earlier. And, you know, I like what I'm seeing out of both women. I thought this was a good match. What I didn't like about it, I'm going to see if I can find it on my... I know I retweeted it. Something I didn't like about the match was this. So, and this is so accurate. Shout out to @TapeMachines on Twitter because this is my thoughts in a nutshell on Johnny Gargano. Outside of his actual in-ring wrestling, he says even in a match that doesn't involve him, I have to still see this shit. And what this is a picture of, for anyone who listens to the audio of this afterwards, it's a picture of Johnny Gargano overacting as the referee in Candice and Io's match. He's not even a part of the match, and he's out here this is the stuff about Johnny Gargano I really don't like. And this is stuff that I was talking about on the preview show. It's this exact stuff. He's incredible in the ring. He's undersized, but he makes up for it with how good he is in the ring. As a heel character, he's been more interesting. As a babyface character, I think he comes off as a dweeb. And then there's this stuff where he's always lovingly looking into his opponent's eyes or reaching for their hands, or it looks like he's having relationships with these people. Like, it's like, I understand he's married to Candice. They have an actual relationship. But he overacts to a point where it takes me completely out of it at points. And this is a perfect example of that. Io and Candice were having a great match. They didn't need any of this. And that's just my opinion on that. So,
yeah, I thought, and here's the thing about NXT, and this is how I feel. Anytime that there's shenanigans, okay, on a takeover, anytime there's shenanigans or outside involvement, it never works. So now at this point, I know it's not going to work, so I don't expect it to. NXT has fooled us all into thinking the match is so much better just because there was outside interference and it didn't work. So that should instantly make the match better, which is not
right.
It never does. So I'm conditioned now to not even, I know it's not going to work. It never does. Maybe one day it actually will, and I'll, change my mind. But it's like NXT has really fooled us because WWE has made it to where we have gotten so sick of outside interference and DQs and nonsense in matches in the main roster that when we see outside involvement in NXT and it doesn't work, we all jizz our pants and we think it's the best thing ever. Like, that's the one thing. And to me, this match on its own was really, really good. I really liked it. It was great. I know we did, honey. And yeah. And
that's something I have to keep like flipping that switch on and off of like mom wrestling.
Yeah. Yes, we did. But, and like you said, I think Io Shirai is a fantastic champion. No, not yet, please. Not yet. When I'm done, if you're good, we can go get it. I think she should be champion for a long time. I think she deserves a long title reign. However, I thought this match made Candice LeRae look really good as well. It made her look really strong. I don't think she really needed, like you said, the involvement with Johnny Gargano. I get it. That's part of their thing. But it's like, if that's the way it's supposed to be, then why didn't she get involved in his match with Damien Priest? Like it shouldn't be one-sided. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. It made Johnny Gargano look like a dang goof. It made him look like a failure. He can never get it done. And it makes him look bad. And, I guess it sort of protected Candice LeRae or something. But I didn't need it. I knew it wasn't going to work. It was weird. It was pointless. It was funny. But to me, NXT takeovers aren't supposed to have, like, much comedy, I guess. But the match itself was great. Other than that, Io Shirai is a fantastic champ. Candice LeRae is really talented. Interested to see where Johnny and Candice end up on the main roster, which I'm assuming is going to happen on the draft. Watch them get drafted to 2 different shows.
Oh yeah, that would be so WWE.
I have a vibe. I don't know. I have a premonition, but maybe not. Maybe we have faith and they put them together and we get, like you said, a Mike and Maria kind of situation, but better. And but I really, and you know what? Speaking of the Capitol Wrestling Center, I thought both of these women's entrances were fantastic. They were such a vibe. I thought, especially Io Shirai's, her entrance looked great in this setup. Like, it just, like you said, how the Thunderdome went up, so that when they shut off the screens for the entrances, it just looks that much more grand.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I loved that vibe. The match was great. Just didn't need the involvement because I knew it wasn't going to work.
Yeah. I'm with you. Main event, I thought was fantastic. We had Finn Balor defeating Kyle O'Reilly, retaining the NXT Championship. Obviously, I was on the Kyle O'Reilly bandwagon and still am 100%. Thought the match was great, and I thought that I tweeted about it right before the match happened. I said either way, win or lose, like his stock's about to rise big time. He's gonna go out there and kill it, and Yeah, before I give my thoughts on it, what were your thoughts on this? What do you think about Finn? What do you think about the match? Obviously, we can talk about their jaws and all that stuff. They went hard as hell in there for almost 30 minutes. What did you think about Balor winning and this match in general?
This match was amazing, and I think that if people weren't familiar with Kyle O'Reilly beyond NXT and they were just familiar with him in NXT, I feel like people were in for a big shock, and this was a great match to kind of prove his worthiness to be on the main stage beyond the shadow of Adam Cole, because he is just amazing, and this match gave you everything you wanted in a match. It had like grappling, it had high flying, it had submission holds, it had near falls, it had blood, it had storytelling, it had comebacks, it had just everything that you actually want. And it felt visceral, it felt hard, it felt amazing, it felt that, ooh, sounds bad. But anyways, it just felt really wrestling. It felt wrestling. It didn't feel campy, it didn't feel WWE style. It was just awesome, and it was a fantastic main event, and it was a fantastic conclusion to what I thought was a fantastic pay-per-view, because there were a very few matches, which gives them more time to shine. How long did it go? 28 minutes? God, it felt longer than that, but that's like a good thing. Like, it felt longer because it just felt like a marathon. It really, in like the best way, like one of those marathon, like a, what do they call those things? The warrior, not the warrior, savage run. I don't know. What are those things called?
Yeah, I know what you're
Not
talking
Iron
about.
Man.
Yeah, like
Like the ones where they put the paint on their face and they have to run through the
like the
obstacle
tough
courses.
mutters and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. That's what it felt like, and it was. I loved it. However, obviously, it went home early because, which is scary to me, because if Finn Balor, Mr. New Japan Finn Balor, who's been through quite a bit in his day and age, you know, won the Universal Championship with a dislocated shoulder, if he's calling for a match to end early, like something's up. And I mean, immediately you saw his jaw just puff up. I mean, it looked like when I had my wisdom teeth out on this side and they didn't give me any like steroids or antibiotics, I literally had like an orbit. It was just ridiculous. That's what it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Kyle O'Reilly like lost some teeth, but I think he knows someone. I think Adam Cole probably has a hookup for that, so I think he should be okay. But yeah, dude, oh man, yikes, that just looks painful. Oh,
Yeah, I knew something was up because when this was happening, like Finn was selling the hell out of his left leg. I mean, both legs, but mainly his like left knee, left leg. Kyle had worked on it a ton, put him in heel hooks and transition into leg locks and all the stuff that they did. And he was hobbling around, and then right after Kyle, I think it happened when Kyle did like a running knee in the corner before he German suplexed him. That's where it looked like it happened, because right after that, Finn, he no-sold it and then hit him with like the coup de grace on the ground, and and then didn't sell his leg at all. Got to the top rope, didn't sell it at all. Hit the coup de grace, didn't sell onto his own legs, which he should have, you know, storyline wise, he should have hit that and sold it, and then like went for like a long cover because like his knees should be messed up because he just hit a move with his legs, with his injured legs, and he didn't sell any of it and went right into the pin and looked completely like. Because Balor doesn't get gassed. He's in incredible shape. And he looked gassed. Not gassed from the sense like that he was tired, but like I could tell something was wrong just by the way he kind of was covering him and kind of laying there after the match and like not selling and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, he got hit, and he got hit for real, because you could see the blood in his mouth and everything. And it was like, so I figured they had to go to the finish right away because of that. And it's also totally understandable if that was the case. The whole match was great, regardless of that finish, which the finish still made sense. It just, you could tell it came a little early. But when you say it was like a marathon or, you know, triathlon or
Tough Mudder,
whatever, That's a good analogy because it felt like an Iron Man match that went on for 30 minutes because they started off with like chain wrestling and putting each other in holds on the ground and like just basic stuff, but good. Balor was doing headlocks and then he was moving into like abdominal stretches. Once again, basic moves, but when you do one after another and it looks like you're really cranking it and the other guy's selling it and you're both sweating and it looks like you're out there wrestling, like actually a physical wrestling contest. And then as the match went on, more fast-paced stuff. They start flying all over the place, start hitting each other with signature moves, start hitting each other with, submission holds and all this stuff. And yeah, I thought it was great. And even though O'Reilly lost the match, I would imagine, now once again, I've been on the bandwagon for a long ass time, but there's probably people who weren't on that bandwagon that saw that match and they were like, holy shit, Kyle O'Reilly is a legit main event guy on his own. And then after the match, Ridge Holland has Adam Cole up on his shoulder and he's completely knocked out and they're setting something up between Ridge Holland and the Undisputed Era. And I have to imagine Ridge Holland is involved with Finn Balor. So the issue now that we might run into is Balor might have to vacate the title. If his jaw's messed up, which would be the worst luck ever considering the Universal title thing being one day and all that.
And carrying Cross.
And carrying Cross. I mean, it's crazy how like the hot potato of Adam Cole having the belt for over a year, Keith Lee having it for a couple weeks, getting called up, carrying Cross being hurt, having to vacate, and now we might be in the same position with Balor. But the feeling I got from it was Holland and Balor are in this together, and they're building, I see some people in the chat mentioning it, I think they're building towards like a Balor Club type thing versus the Undisputed Era.
Ooh, yes.
And I think that at some point, like, the split is going to come. Like, we're going to get Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly at some point. But there's still more story they can tell because now it's been proven that Kyle deserves to be there as his own. And now Adam Cole can, over time, get more and more upset about it. Like, he's taking my spotlight. Like, hold on, that one match was fine. But, like, hold on, now he's getting main events instead of me, like, consistently. Like, what's going on here? And, like, that... There's a lot they can do with this stuff. So I think the main event was fantastic. I think the stories it set up for the future, also hopefully assuming Balor can still wrestle or he won't be out for very long, they've planted seeds for a lot more going forward. I liked it all. And at the end of the day, once again, I think the biggest thing they needed to do was, even in defeat, make Kyle O'Reilly look like he can stand on his own. And they totally accomplished that. So loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. I thought Rich Holland was like, I was like, dang. I was like, Pat McAfee looks really nice. He looked like Pat McAfee had like cleaned up. Like,
that would be crazy if that was Pat
McAfee. I was like, what happened? So stupid me, but then I realized, But anyways, we did get some super chats. Paul, I want to get to your second because Haley's is kind of related to the main event. So thank you both. Haley said an alliance between Holland, Fish, and Strong. I think that would be interesting to see some like a dismantling of Undisputed Era. That would be pretty like crazy. I think maybe that could be like where they're going to go eventually. But I think what Steven said, which is like a Balor kind of club against Undisputed, would be kind of cool to do, kind of forming an alliance. But Haley, I mean, they could just jump right to it. I mean, if God forbid Finn Balor is going to be out and he has to relinquish the title, they could go there quickly. So definitely. What do you think?
Yeah, Haley, I think it's a good idea. Because at the end of the day, what has been the most interesting dynamic, well, not the most, but one of the most interesting dynamics of all this with Undisputed Era, and I brought it up last week, is that Fish and Strong have been positioned as heels throughout all of this. Even when Adam Cole turned against Pat, like to become a face, basically in his feud with Pat McAfee, which was an incredible match, by the way, considering Pat McAfee had never had a match before. Just incredible stuff. Shout out to Pat McAfee for the brand. Guy's killing it.
Yeah.
And shout out to Pat McAfee and the boys. I'll even give a shout out to all the other guys out there on that show. Even the Packers fan that I always hear talking shit about the Vikings. It's a good show. It's a good show, though. But and shout out to Aaron Rodgers. Fuck it. He's on the show every Tuesday, which is insane to me that he does this show. And what's really fucked up about it is the more he does Pat McAfee's show, the more likable he is. Where I'm like, I'm like rooting for fucking Aaron Rodgers at this point. Like, as a lifelong Vikings fan. Yeah, he's the
He's a jerk.
Antichrist. Well, people say that because, like, you know, apparently he doesn't have a great relationship with, like, his family and stuff. But but I don't know. Like, I mean, I have to look at both sides of it. I've heard of situations. Now, I'm not saying this is what it is, but like, there's been situations like a really obscure one that comes to mind immediately is like Macaulay Culkin. I remember that being a big thing when we were growing up. He was making all this money as a kid, and he wound up in the outs with his parents because of it, because like they were taking like all of his earnings and like leaving him with nothing until like he turned 18 or whatever the case was. My point is, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary where they're talking about his mom constantly hitting him up and being like, Aaron, I'm your mom, like you made $30 million, like you can't give me $5 million, like what the heck? And it's like your family starts using you, like, so I don't know, like I just don't know enough about their actual, but it is a bad look when you're not talking to your family. I mean, it's a weird, it's something that you would hope wouldn't happen for anybody, but I don't know the full story, to be fair, so like I really can't, you know. But I've always thought he was an asshole and a jerk, and then like I started watching him on this show, and I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking relatable as hell. I'm like, this guy's actually cool. Like, damn it. Then I watched the Packers game last night against the Falcons, and like he was doing some stuff on the field where I caught myself like smiling. I'm like, God damn it, like this is not good. I'm like becoming a fucking Aaron Rodgers fan as a lifelong Vikings fan. I hope he comes to the Vikings. I hope we ditch Kirk Cousins in the offseason and get him if he's on the way out from Green Bay. That's what I want. But anyways, thank you, Throwback, for joining the chat today, and thank you, Haley, for that super chat, because I think that's a really, really good point. This is all coming back around to me saying Fish and Strong have been positioned as heels this whole time. O'Reilly and Cole have been leaning more babyface lately, so I could see Fish and Strong potentially aligning with someone like Holland and maybe even Balor. I think that's a good prediction, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so thank you again, Haley. So that was a great takeover. We did forget something that thank you so much, Paul, for the super chat to remind us about, because this was big. Can you guys talk about Ember Moon's return? Yes, Ember Moon and Toni Storm are back. And I am so excited for Ember Moon. I think this is fantastic. I think this is perfect for Ember Moon. I was so hyped. This is the best thing to happen to Ember Moon. I think that she would have been lost in a return on the main roster. I think this is a great way to elevate her, and I love it.
Yeah, and it looks like we could immediately get Ember Moon and Io Shirai, which would be really good.
Ooh.
So,
and I'm just so happy for Ember Moon. I've missed her.
Yeah. I echo everything you said. I think that it's thank you for the super chat again, by the way. But I think that it's like it's the best case scenario for her. The only way that moving to NXT could possibly be seen as a negative is if, like, and I'm not saying this is the case, but if they like said, well, we're not going to pay you as much if you're on NXT versus the main roster. That's literally the only downside. Otherwise, you don't have to travel as much. You can have better matches. You can have a career resurgence. You get to be an actual artist again, like doing your craft versus what someone else is telling you to do all the time. Like, I think Finn Balor, I would imagine he loves being back in NXT, and I'd imagine that Breezango loved being back in NXT. Like, there's a lot of advantages to going to that brand. That as someone in the workplace, I would see stuff like that as someone who I kind of lean a little on the lazier side, where I'm like, well, if I can get paid more to do less, like, I'm down. And if I can enjoy my job more, like I get paid the same money and I can enjoy my job more and not have to like enjoy my life more, that sounds very attractive to someone like me. And Ahmed, thank you for the super chat. If you want to read that out, Jessi.
Yes, thank you so much, Ahmed. It says, just here to show support. Thank you. That really means a lot to us. Seriously, thank you so much, Ahmed. Thank you. It really does mean a lot to us. I hear TakeOver was bad, LOL. We liked it, so maybe if you like, we loved it. So, I mean, everything is subjective. So, I mean, you could think it's bad. That's totally cool. But we did think it was really good. We both enjoyed it. So maybe if you listen to the show later, you can hear kind of like our review and then see if you want to watch it or not. So, but it's okay if you heard it was bad and thought it was bad. That's fine. It says, Steven looking good as always, and Jessi beautiful as usual. All the love and support, guys. I missed a lot, but I watch the show every time, even though I miss it live. Thank you. That really does mean a lot. And seriously, thank you for going back and watching it. You know, you can always go back and watch it later if you miss it live. It's not an end all be all. It's always going to be there. So thank you. I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, same here, Ahmed. Very much appreciated. And, oh, he said, don't misunderstand me. That's what I heard. Yeah, about Takeover.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, sure. And, well, yeah, I really enjoyed the show. What are you, Ahmed? Some giant AEW mark? What is this? Just kidding. Obviously, I'm totally kidding. Because I'm a giant AEW mark. But I feel like that's the only people who wouldn't like this show would be people that are like AEW versus WWE. Because I think subjectively speaking, if you're looking at strictly the in-ring action, if you're not even looking at the storylines and stuff, I think that, I'm not speaking for you, Ahmed, I'm just saying you hearing this, I'd imagine the people you're hearing this from either just really dislike NXT or they're like super on AEW's nuts to the point where they can't accept what's going on in AEW. Because, well, I'm just saying, because like, I don't know how you could watch this. Now, once again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And if you watched it and you're a big NXT fan, you didn't think it was very good, that's totally fair. But for someone like me who watches NXT instead of, or sorry, I watch AEW instead of NXT every Wednesday. I'm definitely an AEW fan over NXT. But even I could watch this show and be like, this was a great show. So that's just how
Ahmed
I see it.
Ahmed says he's all elite. So are we, but you know what, Ahmed, we still enjoyed it. So I'm telling you, go check it out. You can secretly like it. We won't be mad. But if you hate it, hey, more power to you. We're all elite too. We love all elite, you know. So I mean, hey, you do you, boo.
Yeah.
The thunder.
No, I didn't notice it until you said that, but it's background. It's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you, Ahmed, again. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Ahmed. Thank you to everyone who sent super chats so far. Now, this is another reminder for y'all been killing it with the super chats. Just want to throw this out there again. Super chats and donations. I'm bringing this up for anyone who might be new to the chat that doesn't know. We will make sure to address your questions, statements, whatever you want to say. And I'm bringing it up right now because we're about to transition into some of the stuff from Raw last night. And I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about this. So if you want to ensure that we talk about it, send the super chat. We will have our eyes, looking at the chat as well. But and the reason I even feel like I need to explain this is we always look at the chat. Your voice is always heard to some degree. But because me and her are trying to have a one-on-one conversation at the same time, it's really hard to like consistently look at that, and also or otherwise the show would be like 4 or 5 hours long every time. Yeah. So that's why it's so important. Like because we don't want anyone to feel like we're not seeing or your voice isn't being heard at all. It is. It's just we can't ensure that we talk about it because it would just, once again, the show would be 5 hours long if we did it the other way. So we're gonna talk about Raw right now, and
from what we both watched, because I will be honest, it was kind of like the same of the same for me. So, well.
Last second super chat before we switch topics. Thank you again, Ahmed. Says real quick, opinion on Cody's coming match. Sorry, no, dude. Never apologize. You're sending us your hard-earned money for us to talk about wrestling. Like, never apologize.
Yeah.
And I'll give just a quick opinion. I think it's happening a little too soon, but I'm not mad about it. I think that Cody and Brody are going to kill it. I think the dog collar match is interesting. It adds another layer. And I also don't think this is going to be the last time that we see these two guys wrestle. So I think it's going to be more of a long-term story than just this Wednesday, but I think this Wednesday is going to add a lot of layers to it. So that's where I'm at with it. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think so too. I do trust in AEW to make a dog collar match actually like good, so I'm not too like worried. I'm interested to see where it goes and how it ends though, because like you said, it's like a little too soon. There's a hair in my mouth. To me, it feels like he just came back after getting his butt beat, and I don't know. It'll be interesting because if I'm being fair, I don't like when WWE does rematches, but this rematch makes sense, to be fair. And I hope that Brody Lee wins, just because I don't think Cody winning it back would do any service to Brody Lee or Cody.
Or
So
Dark
it will
Order.
be, or Dark Order. So it will be interesting to see how this ends up, what happens, who does what in this. There's so many ways they can go. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, and I think
Thank you, Ahmed.
yes, thank you. And I think you bring up a good point also with with it making sense also, because so the reason that, so obviously they built Brody anyways. Like, Brody is a main event level guy anyways. But the way that this story has played out is Cody was having these just hellacious matches one week after the next week, after the next week, after the next week. So the combination of running into Brody Lee and also being completely worn down, it totally made sense that Brody went out there and just squashed him the way that he did. The rematch has an interesting and different dynamic because Cody has been away and recovered, and he's not coming into the match hurt. And so, it realistically speaking, he should have a much better chance in the rematch than he did in their initial match, because he's not coming in beat up week after week after week like he was when they first wrestled. So, I'm looking forward to that. But Gary D'Souza, Ahmed is not annoying. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, can't be saying that. Dude's over here supporting like crazy.
Yeah, and we can be kind and honest, and we can be open to differing opinions without being annoying or rude. So,
yeah,
like, let's just not do that.
Yeah, I don't think you're being annoying at all.
Yeah, me either.
So, Gary, don't be like that, man. We welcome you to the chat. Feel free to make your voice heard.
Yes,
like,
of course.
All good. But just we work really hard to make sure the community of people that watch this show, no one feels bad or ashamed, or like, we want everyone's voices heard, everyone to be themselves. If anyone crosses that line, we always address it. We have permanently banned people from the chat, not for someone saying someone's annoying, but you know what I'm saying. Like, we try to keep it positive. You know what I mean? Yeah,
we want it to be positive, and we're all allowed to have our own opinions about stuff. Just, Gary is allowed to have an opinion just like Ahmed is, and I think we need to honor and respect that. And that's what makes wrestling fun, is it's subjective to the viewer. So, yeah, let's just be nice.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a mom. I don't want to have to mom the chat, so.
And I am not a dad, and that's super by choice, because I don't want to deal with it. So, I'm going to have kids eventually, but right now that's not on my list of priorities. So
I get it.
I get enough of it for my fantasy football league. Like, I have to parent them enough, a bunch of, But no, I appreciate y'all in the chat. And once again, Gary, it's no worries, no problem at all, man. Just keep it positive. That's all we're asking. Let's see what else we got. Was there anything else about Cody's match that I wanted to point out? Yeah, I think it'll be good. We'll just put it that way. I think it'll be a really good match. And I don't know, like, if Brody retains. This is a joke, but not really a joke. It should be a joke, but it isn't. What's the over-under on, during this match, Cody versus Brody Lee, what's the over-under that at some point during the match, Brandy comes out and takes out, like, Anna Jay or something like that? Because I feel like, because, like, even this past week, I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I feel like I have to. Like, she came out and took out, like, the entire Dark Order with like a flip off the rope, and I was like, how is, like, Brandy just took out, like, all the guys in the Dark Order herself? Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like I'll give her this credit. Brandy, I've been harsh on her. As a person, I can't say enough good things about her. What she's doing with Culture City and her behind the scenes stuff, great. She has improved drastically lately in the ring. Like, I will give her credit. It's been better. It's not at a point with me anymore where I'm like, stay off my screen, because it was that, and now it's more like, okay, I can deal with this every now and then, it's fine. But when you're coming out and you're taking out an entire stable of people yourself with one move and you're Brandy Rhodes, I'm not okay with that. Like, come on. Like, it's too much. But either way, like, I get it, though. It's the story. It's the Nightmare family versus the Dark Order. I get it, but, like, That just is what it is. It just is what it is. But hey,
Yeah.
shout out Brandy though. Like she's been getting better. Like I will. My mind. I've said it 1,000 times on the show. My mind about people can be changed. There have been plenty of people. Marco Stunt's a great example. I saw him for the first few times, and this was years before AEW. In high school gyms, in bars, I was watching Marco Stunt wrestle people and thinking, "There's no way this kid's ever gonna make it past what I'm seeing right now." And he completely proved me wrong, and I am a huge fan of Marco Stunt in 2020. There's plenty of examples like that. So my mind can't be changed. Brandy keeps bringing it, keeps getting better. You might see me sitting here one week going, "Hey, they need more Brandy on the show. They're not putting her out there enough." It's totally possible. It is totally possible. Ahmed says you'd make a great dad, bruh. Maybe I'll get I've been on the fence about getting a little Yorkshire Terrier dog, so maybe I'll be a little dad dog for before I decide to put a human being's life in my hands, because I think
he's a lot of pressure.
yeah, I mean the dog is enough. I feel like I'm gonna get super attached to that thing and like treat it like a child. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be.
I mean, it's good practice because they're basically children anyway. So
it is. It's good practice, and it's also something where like. This sounds a bit fucked up, but like if I sucked at it, I know like my parents would just like love it and just take him, you know. But I wouldn't want to do that to a person. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be like, "Hey, mom and dad, like I can't. I'm not good at this. You know, I'm not good at this. This is on you now." With a dog, it's a little different because they love dogs and they already have a couple dogs. And it'd just be like, "Oh yeah, we'll take." You know, they'd be excited about it. If I have a stepsister who I have a nephew, and he's like 3 years old. I feel like they probably get enough of that already. With like that kid's always over there. Like they're basically raising this kid. So I don't want to be doing that to him. Let's put it that way. Love my stepsister, love my family, love my nephew, but like I wouldn't. She, and to her credit, my stepsister does a lot on her own as a single parent. Like she does a ton on her own, but I know my parents are also doing a lot for that kid. I'll just put it that way. So anyways, that's a long way of saying I don't think I should have the responsibility of any children anytime soon, but maybe a small dog soon. That's been in my mind. I think I'd be a really good what do you call it? A really good foster dad or like an adopter. Like if I adopted a kid. Well, no. I think I'd be way better off if I like adopted someone who was like 10. Like if I didn't have like the whole, it's not that I dislike babies, but that's a large part of the responsibility. I feel like is like raising the kid. Like if it just like popped out and he was like 10 years old, could already talk, already kind of knew what was going on in the world a little bit, and then I could just kind of guide him and take care of him. That's a little bit. It's like Big Daddy, right? It's like the movie Big Daddy. Give me that kind of scenario. Kid already talks, already walks, already kind of knows what's going on in the world a little bit. Already, you know. The idea of school isn't foreign to them. They already are comfortable around other people. Because I'm the kind of
trained.
Right. That like I'm the kind of person where like if I had a kid, and I know you're about to go through all this a second time, but you've been through it and like you're prepared for it. With me, it would be like even just the idea of like something that I made, that I raised, that doesn't know anybody but me and my family, and then like letting them go to school for the first time. I'd be that parent who doesn't leave. You know what I mean? I'd be like, that's
me. By the time they go to school, you're right.
well, probably right, but I'm like that kind of I'm just that kind of person where like I can't even imagine. Because if like some kid bullied my kid, I'd be like threatening their parents. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yo, this ever happens again, I'm coming for you. You know what I mean?
It's really hard. Because I'm a very non-confrontational person, but it's very hard for me with like a situation I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
To not completely lose my you-know-what and like go off, but just try to have grace.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did see Raw ratings were 1.6 million. I saw that. Sorry, I was just
no, that's perfect. We can pivot right over to Raw because I've talked about being a dad enough. Thank you again, Ahmed, for the super chat. And I appreciate all the kind words, man. Every week, you're always telling me I'm looking good. Give you another one of these winks for you. But no, appreciate it, man. Big confidence boost here on I was gonna say Tuesday afternoon. I guess it's like almost Tuesday evening already.
Yeah, I gotta wrap it up here soon, so we can go over kind of some quick stuff here.
Cool.
But
last minute super
yeah,
chats, get them in while we're doing this, because we're not doing a full Raw review for this. We're just going to talk about some of the highlights,
random stuff. Yeah,
and we might as well just start with the thing that I think is the most interesting thing about the show, and the thing that most people are talking about, which is, where is it? There it is.
right there,
Which is Ali. So, for those of you who've been watching the show, I have been calling for this. I've been saying Ali as the hacker should be, like, if he was the hacker, he should be involved in Retribution. He's been complaining about being put on main event. That would make sense that he be a part of, not in the main event, but on the main event show that nobody watches. That would be a good reason to want to be in Retribution. Last week, the lights went out during Ali's match. It would make sense that he would be a part of Retribution. There's all these things that were pointing this direction, but I think they did a good job kind of using a diversion by having him aligned with Apollo and Ricochet, because it made it seem like he was like completely unrelated to all this other stuff going on. It was just like another guy with these guys who can't beat Hurt Business. So I thought it all makes sense, and I applaud it, because I think Retribution I think it's still goofy as hell, but with Ali as the potential leader of the group, it gives it, I think you put it in like the thumbnail too, it like levels up the entire thing, and that's, I'm here for it. I think it was a smart move. What are your thoughts on Ali not only joining Retribution, but potentially leading Retribution?
Yeah, no, I think this is great. This was the only thing on Raw that I actually like got excited about. This is the only thing that actually like interests me on Raw. It's the only thing I paid attention to, and I loved it. Does this save Retribution? No, it does not save Retribution, but it refreshes it enough for me to be interested in it again. Like, I had kind of lost interest. The whole Twitter thing was kind of cool, but it definitely gives Retribution the kind of oomph that it needed, because regardless of Twitter,
that was me,
like,
by the way.
Yeah, I know. I figured it was. I figured you were reading what I sent you. It's like, ugh. But anyways, that's the kind of film. But anyways, I just, like I said, this does not save Retribution. Let's be perfectly clear. They can still screw this up. They absolutely can. But it definitely gives it a level up, and it definitely piques my interest and makes it a whole lot better. And it makes sense why they've been so weird, because he's been trying to be a wrestler and run this crazy faction, and, you know, it's not been as organized, and I think it's good for Ali. I just hope that it doesn't bring with it, like, Islamophobia and all that kind of stuff, you know, kind of hate, which is what we do not need right now, towards Mustafa Ali, because I know I watched that kind of special on him, and it was like, whoa, that's really shitty that people were saying that. But I think him as the hacker, as the leader of Retribution, I think they need to tie in the whole hacker stuff with this.
Yeah.
And just kind of say, hey, like, I was getting sick and tired of, like, doing nothing on this computer. I kind of did my deed there, and I recruited these guys from the dark web. Sorry.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I was just kind of, like, going in my head there a little bit. But I think it's really interesting, and it actually makes me interested in Retribution, because, let's be honest, they weren't doing much. So
that'd be funny as hell, that dark web scenario. Imagine, like, Ali sitting at his computer, like, on the dark web, and he's like, all right, it says here I gotta pay 500 in Bitcoin to get to the next page. I'm gonna pay in Bitcoin. Okay, boom, next page. Avoid this, avoid that. Boom, boom, boom. All right, and then he's like, Dijak? He's like, oh, Ali? Well, yeah, I'm on this also. Yeah, dude, things aren't going well for us. We need to fuck shit up. Like, right? Oh, yeah, I know. Dio Madden's on here too. On the dark web, on like AOL Instant Messenger dark web. Hey,
yeah, he goes by T-Bar. He goes by Slapjack.
Yeah. These are their dark web usernames. Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
Watch Ali's be like Hand Eye. He's got that like hand eye.
Oh,
Hand eye.
man. That's actually probably exactly what they're going to call him. Or they're going to be like, you once knew him as Mustafa Ali, and then you knew him as Ali, and then it was back to Mustafa Ali. Now he's just Ali. Right.
That would be so awesome.
Right back to it.
That would be great.
Or
like the truth, or whatever you used to say. The truth.
The truth. I hope.
No, we can't be our truth because that.
Oh, true. Can't be doing that. Yeah, I wonder what they will call him though. I mean, I think that's actually not a bad hand-eye.
Hand-eye coordination.
Bandai was the name of the
finisher. Hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye coordination. Yeah, I mean, but at least it's something. Richard Thomas said he's saying Triple H, leader of Retribution, calling it now.
That's what I thought.
He's saying that he thinks that Ali will be more like Evil Uno in the Dark Order, and that he's like the kind of like second or third kind of in command, and he's talking to the like exalted one, whoever the actual leader of Retribution is, who he thinks is Triple H. I mean, I could see that happening potentially. Yeah. I guess it makes sense that Triple H might be like, this is what you get for never giving me the company. I'm going to just recreate it in my own image. It could make sense, but at the same time, it also kind of doesn't make sense because it's like, so you're just going to destroy the whole, like, you're going to get all this. We all know you're going to get all of it. You just have to live long enough. I mean, this sounds fucked, but you just have to outlive Vince. That's really the thing here is like, if once Vince, I mean, I hope Vince gives it up before he passes away. Like, I hope for his own sake that, you know, he gets at least a few years without the stress of running this company and the travel, and he can just enjoy his life outside of wrestling for a little while, like before he passes away, you know. But there's nothing, there's no signs pointing to that. It looks like Vince McMahon's going to be in charge of this until the day he dies, and you know, Triple H in storyline, he could be pissed off about that. He wants his chance now. So I mean, it all makes sense to a degree, I guess. Was there anything else on Raw outside? I know we already talked. There was no Raw Underground, which is stupid. This is just so cringe.
I can't stand it. I'm done. I'm done with the Messiah. I'm done. Done with this feud. I'm done with it. It should be over. Let's move on. Seth Rollins is like a parent that's like gets walked all over by their kid. It's ridiculous. They had a deadline to apologize. What the hell is that? Like, are we in preschool? Is this class? Are we in trouble? Like, what? It was so dumb. It was just stuff kept happening over and over and over, and it's the same people in the same matches, and I'm just like so over it, and I'm just so bored. And I was on TikTok, just scrolling through TikTok the whole dang time, like making food, made chocolate covered pretzels. I was just like, could not be bothered. I was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch Monday Night Football. That's what I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, I was definitely dual screen, and that's why like I didn't pay any attention in the first like probably hour and a half of Raw. I basically turned it on like when this all was going on, like Keith Lee and Braun Strowman. For one, I don't know why this was an exhibition match, especially if it ended in double count out. Why wouldn't this just been a match? And then I thought it was hilarious how they did this because it was like the hype this thing up. And then the match itself lasted like a minute because they both went outside of the ring and then got counted out and then beat each other up out afterwards. It was like, okay, clearly they're going to do Braun Strowman versus Keith Lee. Why didn't they just build up a match between the two of them without doing any of this? It's weird. Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, outside of that, I mean, they hyped up this whole Bray Wyatt being on Raw. It was like a video thing from the Titantron.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens just beyond repair at this point. It's just so sad.
It makes me so mad.
Same. He's incredible. He should, at this point, Kevin Owens should be like the top guy in your whole company. And it's like,
absolutely.
You're doing this. And he's going to lose, by the way. Like, if he wrestles The Fiend, he's done. Like, I shouldn't say done, but, like, he's going to lose that feud. There's no way they're going to put Owens over him. Yeah, it's sad as hell. I'm actually watching High Spots interviews right now. I've been watching a lot of these old Shoot interviews. or in rewatching in some points, and been watching the Kevin Steen show lately again on high spots from before when he got signed. It's just like such a complete shift in. It's like two different people. It's why, like, I'm not saying it's worse because like Kevin Owens has made a lot of money since then, and he's like working for the WWE and all this stuff, but like the guy he was then versus the guy, you can just tell, for better or for worse, you can just tell he's content where he is. Because if not, he'd let his contract run out and sign somewhere else. If he like really cared about having the best matches still and all. Now, I mean, once again, I'm not going to knock a guy. He's making good money and he's being used consistently on worldwide television. Like that's, for some people, that is the goal. But to hear him years ago talking about how he was staying in specific companies to have the best matches he could possibly have, it's just I think it's a mind shift in attitude, kind of. Once again,
as long as he's happy.
Yes, and he has 2 kids now. He had just had the one when I was watching these interviews. I mean, there's intangibles there, for sure. But like as a fan, a big Kevin Steen fan, it's like, man, I wish he was going out there and having awesome matches still. But instead, they've just really nerfed him beyond repair, as far as I'm concerned.
Now it's the Kevin Owens show.
Yeah,
watch him throw chairs out of a ring.
Watch him try to have the Riot Squad makeup. Like I don't care. Like
yeah, I know. It stinks. Blah.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say about Raw, because I know you got to get out of here, and this is really the only other thing worth mentioning. Outside of course, we have all the Randy Orton and McIntyre stuff happening. They're still doing that. I'm becoming less and less interested by the week. And one thing that I keep asking myself is, what would they be doing right now on Mondays if they didn't have the Hurt Business? Because they're in like 75% of the segments on these shows.
Yeah, they are.
And they deserve it, and they're awesome. Like I think the Hurt Business is great, and I love how much they're being featured on the show. But like, let's just say, like, what if Shelton Benjamin couldn't still go at his age? What if Lashley couldn't stay over because he's really, really bad on the microphone? What if MVP had never returned at the Royal Rumble? What if Cedric Alexander would have never made it? You have 4 guys that like were all kind of lost to a degree, but they work incredibly as this group. So I want to give a shout out. No, you're good. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Hurt Business before I got off of here, because I think that they're
doing great. They're holding the show up.
Yeah, they're the MVPs, literally MVP. They're the MVPs of Raw on a consistent basis, whether they're winning or losing. They're a part of all the top storylines, and even the mid-level and the lower-level storylines, and a part of Raw Underground when it's around. I mean, they're can't overstate how valuable they've been, especially during the quarantine, during the pandemic or whatever. So, well, that's everything I've got. Before I talk about the sponsors, if you want to just kind of tell everyone what to do while I'm about to read these out.
Sure. Quickly, I hope, Chanel, I'm keeping your aunt in my thoughts. I hope your aunt is doing okay. Anyways, so prayers to her. And yeah, so basically, we're going to go over our sponsors and stuff. We really hope you stick around for that, because it really does mean a lot to us. It's a way to support us. But if you like what you've seen, if you like this, if you like the chat, we love our chat so much. If you want to bring more people, like-minded people like yourselves, into this, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help us out. The algorithm goes, ooh, people are liking this and engaging with this video. Let's show it to more people who would probably like this. And these algorithms these days, they know their stuff. So I would love and appreciate if you did hit that thumbs up button. If you do like what you see, no, that's okay. You don't have to. No pressure. If you would like to see more of these live streams to get notified before we go live and get notified of future lives, please do subscribe. Consider subscribing to the channel. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. We're going to do a giveaway soon once we figure that out, probably in like a month, but we'll do one definitely. So we would really like to have as many people as possible to have the chance to do a giveaway. We would love more people. We love seeing the channel grow. We do this all for you. We do this for everybody who watches, and we're so happy and thankful that everyone watches this, and we love and appreciate every single one of you. And like I said, super chats are always helpful. You don't have to, because we understand we're in a pandemic and all of that, and we know that times are hard, But if you do have the means to super chat, it does really help us out, because sometimes these videos like to get demonetized for some reason. So it does really help us out. And I think Steven has the sponsors ready.
Yes. I'm going to start off with...
I gotta go to the bathroom, so I may disappear for a second.
No, you're good. We got Music City Toys and Collectibles. They are the place to be for action figures, DVDs, autographs. I mean, everything you think of. Like, I get a lot of my action figures from them, and they give me really, really fair business, and they're really, really nice people. If you're a part of their Facebook group, they do live auctions and claim sales, which is so much fun. Like, they'll jump on there on video with a bunch of different products, and basically they show you the product, tell you how much it is, and if you want the product, then you go ahead and claim it. They go ahead and invoice you the next day for it through PayPal. Super easy. So if you're into anything pro wrestling related, if you're a collector of any kind, make sure to check them out. Search them on all social media. Just type in Music City Toys and Collectibles, and like I said, they'll give you a really good deal, and I promise you they will be very nice to you. So check them out. Also, shout out to WrestleRumble.com. WrestleRumble.com is a place to be for all fantasy pick'em contests and raffles for professional wrestling. The raffle coming up next is the Killer Belt giveaway. They are $1 entries, and there is going to be 4 winners. So the last few that they've done, one winner has won all of the belts that they've been giving away. This is the list of the prizes for this one. So the Killer Belt giveaway, it's $1, and first place is going to get a Hardcore Championship and a custom Jason mask from Friday the 13th Part 3. And when I say these championship belts, these are the real deal replica belts, like the $400 replica belts. Second prize is the Fiend Championship belt and a custom Jason mask from Friday the 13th Part 4. So a different Friday the 13th movie and a different championship belt, the Fiend title, really cool. Third prize is going to be a Jeff Hardy Championship belt, which I didn't even know that existed. There's like a custom Jeff Hardy Championship belt, so that'll be cool. I'm a big Jeff Hardy fan. Like, why not? I liked his belt that he used at Impact Wrestling, that custom one he had. And then fourth place gets 2 mystery belts. Like, for me, as wild as this sounds, like, because I'm not a big horror fan or anything like that. So, like, I would like to get fourth place. I'd want to take the 2 title belts, the 2 mystery belts. But any of these prizes are awesome. I just, and especially this time of the year, obviously, a lot of people watching this are going to be a big fan of horror movies and scary movies and all that kind of stuff. This is the contest for you, especially if you're into Friday the 13th. I mean, and even if you aren't into Friday the 13th, like me, there's still all these replica titles that you can win for $1, which is just amazing. I mean, potentially you could buy $4 of entries and win everything on this page that you see. I mean, you could win all of it for $4 total. I mean, just incredible stuff. So make sure to check out WrestleRumble.com, jump on the website, make sure to follow them on Twitter at WrestleRumble to stay up to date with all of their contests and raffles. And last but never least, my brother Brian Jensen. He is a part owner of Steel Boxing and Athletics, a gym here in Atlanta, Georgia. He works with Parkinson's foundations and people of all ages, shapes, sizes, everything, genders, whatever it is, he can help you out. If you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, he can help you in person. If you're not, he can help you over Zoom. In person, he can meet you at his gym. He can meet you at your business, at your home, in a park. Doesn't matter. Wherever you want to get some work in, he can help you out. And once again, on Zoom, he can help you anywhere in the world. If you want to learn how to throw hands, get in better shape, if you want to box at a professional or amateur level, if you want to do MMA, if you want just someone to have a different look at you, like every now and then you might be a seasoned boxer or a seasoned MMA fighter, but you've been working and practicing in front of the same people year after year. It helps to get a new set of eyes on you. It can give you a couple different pointers and some different points of view. And Brian can help you with all of these things. In short, he can help you reach your goals. Hit him up on Instagram at BoxingATL. That's BoxingATL. Brian Jensen, get a knockout workout without getting knocked out. I'm wearing one of his shirts right now as I speak. So huge shout out to Steel Boxing and Athletics for supporting the show. And just like all of our sponsors, if you tell them that me and Jesse sent you, I promise you, you get a really, really, really good deal on whatever you're trying to do. You can always follow me on Twitter at FightTalk_. That's FIGHTTALK_. Twitch channel is the same, Fight Talk _ whole bunch of stuff. I got like MMA podcasts that have been going out, MMA video edits for all things MMA, and I was recently nominated for an award. That never happens. I was nominated for an award for the Sobros Network. They have a whole bunch of content on the Nashville-based website, and I'm up for Podcast of the Year and Podcast Episode of the Year for the All Things MMA channel. Thank you. Small little victories. Whether I win or lose, it's nice to get a nomination. So yeah, check all that stuff out. If you want to vote, by the way, I'll actually pull up on here their Twitter. This is the website that I do the MMA show for, and if you check that out, that's at Sobros Network, SOBROSNETWORK. If you scroll down their feed for a little bit, you'll see eventually, this is our new podcast that came out today, as a matter of fact. There's a link here somewhere. Oh, here it is. You click that link there. It's going to make you sign into Google so that they know that people aren't just like stuffing ballots. Like, it makes you sign into Google so they know it's 1 vote per person. And you go through, they have all these different categories, and I'm in 2 of them. So if you want to help support me even more, vote for me over there on the Sobros Network. Maybe we can win an award. It reminds me of an Always Sunny episode. The gang desperately tries to win an award. I'm going to play it off like I don't care that much, but I'd love to win an award. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I like to win.
So yeah, I'll keep everything that I do. I'll keep up to date on my Twitter at FightTalk _. Jessi, go ahead and plug all your stuff.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I will definitely be voting for you.
Thank you.
The best way to reach me is on my Twitter. My Twitter is below. You can see it. It's right there. Jessi the Buckeye, JSSITHEBUCKEYE. And also, that link that's in my bio is my OnlyFans. That is the best way to directly support me and my growing family, other than this fantastic YouTube channel that we have going on right now. So, yes. So, if you want to chat with me every single day, literally every single day, and, well, not you, but just me, you chat here on the YouTube channel. Sure.
Sure.
You can't do that. I'm just saying that so she'll be quiet.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but just me. I promise it's just me. And anyways, that's where you can find me every single day. I don't like to check my DMs on Twitter. They're pretty toxic, so I don't really...
I make my own channel with my friends.
Oh, okay.
They chat with me.
Okay, that sounds like fun. So that's the best way to get into contact with me and support me directly and my family. And then obviously the YouTube channel. So onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye, JSSITHEBUCKEYE. I do actually have some promo pricing going on. I only have a few spots left. So please do hurry up, because once they're gone, and it's back to the regular price. So I do actually have some little discounts going on right now if you subscribe, if you're a new subscriber. Because you can't unsub and then resubscribe for a cheaper price. We ain't doing that. So if you are a new subscriber to my OnlyFans, there's a special discount going on right now. So yeah, and then obviously, yeah, YouTube here, and then that's it. So yeah,
that's it. What's today? Tuesday. Look at my calendar. Are you busy later this week, like Thursday? You want to shoot for then, or like weekend next?
Probably weekend would be better.
Cool. I should be able to do Saturday again before the UFC.
Perfect.
So maybe we'll get one in before the end of the week. But Jessi's got a lot of stuff going on right now. So plan on us being here Saturday afternoon, probably around like 2 p.m. give or take. Is probably. But once again, we can't stress it enough. Make sure you're following both of our Twitters and make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, because that way you should be notified. I know sometimes YouTube doesn't do that, and I never want anyone to have to go that extra step, but I think ringing the bell on top of subscribing, that should also help with the notification thing, but like YouTube's weird. Sometimes it just doesn't work right. So that's that. That's all I've got. We'll look forward to seeing y'all hopefully on Saturday. And yeah, if you want to check out my Twitch channel, go ahead, because I'll probably be on there sometime before Saturday. So